The Hazardous Materials Identification System, or HMIS, was developed by the National Paint and Coatings Association, now known as the American Coatings Association, to help employers comply with OSHA's Hazard Communication Standard. HMIS is a complete system designed to aid employers and their employees in day-to-day compliance with OSHA's HCS. It includes hazard evaluations, a rating system for acute and chronic health, flammability, and physical hazards, labels providing at a glance information on the hazards and PPE or personal protection equipment. An older style HMIS label is shown below on the left. In 2002, the yellow reactivity section was replaced with an orange physical hazard section and is shown on the right. The blue health section conveys a health hazard of the material. In the latest version of HMIS, the blue health bar has two spaces, one for an asterisk and one for a numeric hazard rating. If present, the asterisk signifies a chronic health hazard, meaning that long-term exposure to the material could cause a health problem such as kidney damage. The system for NFPA lacks this important information because it's only meant for emergencies or acute exposures. The highlighted box contains the numeric value for health. This ranges from 0 to 4 in terms of severity. For a 0, there is no significant health risk. For a 1, there is irritation or minor injury possible. For a 2, there is a temporary or minor injury. 3, major injury likely unless prompt action is taken, and 4 is life-threatening. The red box for flammability also contains numeric values from 0 to 4. 0 is for materials that will not burn. 1 is for materials that must be preheated before ignition will occur. This includes liquids, solids, and semi-solids having a flash point above 200 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 is materials which must be moderately heated or exposed to high ambient temperatures before ignition. 3 is for materials capable of ignition under almost all normal temperature conditions. Includes flammable liquids with flash points below 73 degrees Fahrenheit. A value of 4 is given for flammable gases or very volatile flammable liquids with flash points below 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And boiling points below 100 degrees Fahrenheit. These materials may ignite spontaneously with air. The physical hazard section in orange replaces the reactivity hazard. 7 such hazard classes are recognized for this section, such as water reactives, organic peroxides, explosives, compressed gases, oxidizers, unstable reactives, and pyrophoric materials. This version, again, replaces the now obsolete yellow section titled Reactivity. As with the health and flammability sections, the level of hazard is indicated by numeric values, 0 for a low hazard and 4 for a high hazard. For a 0, these are for materials that are normally stable, even under fire conditions, and will not react with water, polymerize, decompose, condense, or self-react, and are considered non-explosives. 1 is reserved for materials that are normally stable but can become unstable or self-react at high temperatures and pressures. A 2 is for materials that are unstable and may undergo violent chemical changes at normal temperature and pressures with low risk for explosion. These materials may react violently with water or form peroxides upon exposure to air. 3 is for materials that may form explosive mixtures with water and are capable of detonation or explosive reaction in the presence of a strong initiating source. 4 is materials that are rapidly capable of explosive water reaction, detonation or explosive decomposition, polymerization, or self-reaction at normal temperature and pressure. The white section is for personal protection equipment. This is by far the largest area of difference between the NFPA system and the HMIS system. In the NFPA system, the white area is used to denote special hazards for the material, whereas the HMIS system uses the white section to indicate, again, personal protection equipment that should be used when working with the material. In this section, it uses a letter coding system instead of the numeric value system. The letter coding represents a different combination of personal protection equipment that should be used while handling that specific material. For A, we see that it only requires safety glasses. Jumping down to E, we see that the material requires safety glasses, gloves, and a dust respirator. When we get to H, it requires splash goggles, gloves, a protective apron, and a vapor respirator. Any letter from L through Z is a site-specific label, and you should ask your supervisor or safety specialist for handling instructions. Here we see an example of what an HMIS label might look like. At the top states the chemical name of the material. The health bar has an asterisk, which means there's a chronic health hazard, and a number 2 for the health risk. Flammability has a number 3 in the box, physical hazard has a 1, and personal protection equipment has a D, which requires a face shield, gloves, and protective apron while handling the material. And that has been a quick overview of the HMIS hazard rating system.